All right. So, Pat, I heard you say during the commercial that I don't know if this shakes the world. A noted conservative, George Will, says he's getting out of the GOP. I'm looking down, seeing some social media. People are talking. Colleen Whitman is talking about voting for Gary Johnson and Jill Stein.
Who's she? Well, oh, you mean Governor Whitman?
Gary Johnson and Jill Stein. Our viewer, Colleen Whitman, is talking about voting for them. Your thoughts? So you've got people saying they don't want to be part of the GOP.
But look, that's why I say these polls. That's been my objection to the CNN poll. It's sort of what I said about the Post this morning, the Post ABC. We've been seeing a good fifth or bigger to a fourth of the American people who are floating around saying, I don't want either of these candidates. I may vote into these third-party candidates who are unknown are getting votes. Some people are staying home. The problem, when we talk about revolution, and it's an important point to understand, we are far further along than the British are, as we're about to find out. The quality of, and Britain becomes kind of a touchstone of this, the anti-establishment and the anti-press. I mean, everyone in England, you're racist if you're going out and so forth, just like our press does here. Never have I seen the press, the mainstream press, more united in their belief that we live in traditional times and that Trump must be defeated, so that you have a resentment in the people. But more importantly, you have a country that thinks it is disempowered.
Doug?
Harris, there still is a revolutionary fervor in the electorate. We've talked about third parties. Doesn't look like there's going to be one. Gary Johnson and Jill Stein are picking up angry voters. What Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump both have to do, and neither has done it with full force yet, is to captivate the electorate with a message of change at a time when people are fundamentally angry with the economic, social, and political arrangements in the country, both here and in terms of our foreign policy.
You know, and I'm going to get to a really interesting tweet in just a second, but Doug, since we have you here and you're friends with the Clintons, I have to ask.
Yes, sure.
You know, you see Hillary Clinton had a tough week. I know you said she had a great week. She was wrong on Brexit. She and Donald Trump did the dueling speech thing.
Right.
And at one point, you know, she's talking about the economy, but she never once says what she's going to do different than the last 8 years that we've seen. She goes after Donald Trump, but she doesn't say what she's going to do. She did tell us that she's going to put her husband in charge of the economy.
Right. And let me...
After throwing him under the bus on everything else he's ever done.
Let me speak for the Clintons.
You're going to speak for the Clintons. This will be good.
I am, because I know what they're going to do. I know how they think.
What are they going to do?
I've done it for them. Here's what they're going to do. Because Hillary lacks credibility, the campaign is going to be a close to $2 billion effort to disqualify Donald Trump. Hillary does need an economic plan. She doesn't have one. But she believes, and you will see, an unprecedented level of money and resources used to continue to...
He started that. Did you hear what Doug said? Because she lacks credibility on this issue. And you're her friend.
I am her friend.
Oh, my goodness.
Here is the question. So Hillary will have $2 billion.
Right.
And the media will be for Hillary.
$4 billion right there.
Right. And they're going to try to make the issue one issue. Is Trump suitable to be president? Trump has basically no money. The media is against him.
Well, but that's not true. He says he's raising quite a bit.
It doesn't matter. We've learned. This year, it doesn't matter. The message is more than the money.
Interesting.
And the message is fermenting. It's what Brexit was all about.
Has he articulated it yet, Jim?
No, he has not articulated. That's what I was getting to, if I could ever be allowed to get there, which is he's in the 30s. In all the polls, he's 38, 37. If he wants to get either to 50 or 47 or somewhere, it's time to do what we have said for 4 years on this show. A candidate needs to spell out a positive agenda. Boom, boom, boom. Hispanics, you think you don't like me? I will get you jobs. I'll get your children jobs.
He has said that.
But not just say it. He's got to show how he's going to do it. And then he goes off on a tangent. It's got to be a disciplined message.
Can I just say, what you saw this week is that he did at least lay out his case, partly a case, against Hillary, and he did it without being whatever people, you know, having to be so viciously personal.
You said she should be in jail. That's
And by the way,
Well, I think Elizabeth Warren has the viciously personal locked up right now.
Yes, and so does Hillary. And the press says what she said is truth, and how dare Donald Trump prove something. She is, look, this is a criminal enterprise at work. To get that $2 billion, they will sell every bit of this government in this country. Wall Street, this woman gets up there and says, oh, by the way, I've been getting dark money out of politics. If I were the let me just finish my point.
Is a criminal?
I am saying what she has been doing is criminal. With the emails, the thing with the Clinton Foundation, exactly, look at your eyes. When she can't tell you, when she refuses to allow you to know what she said to the Wall Street executives, my grandson figured this out.
Okay, so here's what I think, though. Here's what I think, Harris. I think it's all true. But it's already, most of that is baked in the cake. I think most people already know that Hillary is bad.
My question has been, how effective can negative campaigning do? Because she wouldn't be spending $40 million against Trump if the negativity didn't sell.
It does sell.
So two things. I mentioned Elizabeth Warren, who said, you know, they all have said on the left side of the aisle that Donald Trump has been nasty, we're not going there. They got really nasty this past week. Red O'Laughlin says on Twitter, Harris, ask why the national polls even matter when it only comes down to a few states. Stay with us. We're coming right back.